Good afternoon, Titans, and welcome to this edition of Titan Television. I'm Stacia Anderson.
And I'm Matt Ross. On this week's episode, we'll remember one of the most important days in our nation's history.
And we will introduce you to a new club here at West.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Titan Television.
As you saw in the courtyard this morning, social studies teacher Matt Turner sets up flags in honor of those who died on September 11th, 2001.
Mr. Turner also honors these victims through his involvement with the unique organization. Here's Mackenzie Moore with the story.
Even though it was an event that lasted a day, the ramifications of that day are still playing out to this very moment.
Which is exactly why every 9/11, Mr. Turner and the other teachers lined the courtyard with flags.
It's just kind of a visual reminder for students that this day means something to a lot of people, and a lot of innocent people lost their lives this day, and we need to take time to reflect on that.
Turner was so moved by this day that he wanted to contribute to its memory even more by joining the organization Born on 9/11.
This program, Born on 9/11, urges kids to do one good deed for somebody else on 9/11.
Turner even got some other teachers to join this project.
Whether it's just a gesture to someone you don't normally talk to, or going out and doing something for someone else, that just kind of recreating that unity.
Hopefully we can make the world a better place, even if just one person does something nice, then we've succeeded.
While you're doing your good deed today, always remember,
we are all in this together. We're all Americans, no matter what maybe issues divide us or anything like that, we all still need to come together.
With photographer Nick Andrews and Ariana Gillespie, this is Mackenzie Moore reporting for Titan Television.
Danielle Gorman and Aubrey Williams got a chance to talk to teachers about why we should never forget.
14 years ago, our country faced a horrible tragedy. 4 planes were hijacked and crashed into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost. As years go on, our country's had to adjust to these hardships. However, the further we get from 9/11, the less informed our students are of the matter. As many students, even here at West, were too young or not even born when it happened. For adults, however, the memories are haunting.
Well, shock, I think, was the biggest thing. I couldn't believe that it had happened. Then I guess I just thought about wonder what we're going to do for the rest of the day. This will be a very difficult day with the students.
A little bit of horror, a little bit of shock, very much worry, because I knew what was coming for us.
While most adults remember this day, students' memories are vague, so it is incredibly important to inform students about this event.
You can talk about it, you can have an open discussion about it, you can review films about it.
I think that you have to be educated about what happened, because those kind of things could still happen.
Anything you can do to encourage people to think about it and talk about it keeps it alive.
With photographer Aubrey Williams, this is Danielle Gorman reporting for Titan Television.
Jacqueline Raymer will now introduce us to 2 firefighters who share their stories of this day.
Most of us students do not remember 9/11 very well, but firefighter Tom Fagan was on duty in Lee Summit when the towers fell.
The morning of 9/11, I was actually working at the Lee Summit Fire Department, and I was currently stationed at our fire headquarters building in downtown Lee Summit. And at first, like everyone else, we didn't know exactly what was happening. There was just smoke showing from one of the towers. Any televisions that we had available were turned on, and all of us were huddled around it. When the second tower was struck, it was just, like everybody else in America, we were just jaws hit the floor.
On that day, most of the nation was terrified, but for Captain Fagan, he felt something different.
I was angry, angry about why it would happen.
That day also meant a lot to firefighter Casey Smith, who was only in 7th grade at the time of the attack.
There was a lady, and she was frantic, and she was saying that the young firefighters were running up, as everybody else was running out. And I remember at that moment was when I knew that this is what I wanted to do, because I feel like if everybody could be that selfless, it'd be a much better world for us all to live in.
For 4 years now, local firefighters have gathered to climb 110 flights of stairs in honor of the 343 fallen firefighters on 9/11.
It's basically all the firefighters from the area. We pre-register, and there's 343 firefighters, and each one of us will walk in memory of one of the fallen firefighters from 9/11. When you're done, you feel exhausted, but you also get to ring a bell and then say over the microphone the name of the person you walked for. And I feel like it's a pretty proud moment, not for me, but for them, knowing that they're getting remembered and they're not forgotten.
With photographer Kaylee Addison, this is Jacqueline Raymer reporting for Titan Television.
Check out Ellis West Online today to see an interview from a firefighter about what 9/11 was like for him.
While firefighters are paying tribute this weekend, Allie Marriott shows us how we can remember all year round.
Overland Park is home to a new memorial built to remember and honor those who died on September 11, 2001. This memorial includes a weeping wall that symbolizes the tears shed, the victims panel containing almost 3,000 names of those who lost their lives, and an artifact from Ground Zero.
We fully anticipated getting a 3 or 4 foot chunk of steel, and were quite surprised when the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey informed us that they had awarded us a 14-foot, 2.5 ton piece of steel from the World Trade Center.
The memorial is a place for people to go and reflect on a day that changed our nation forever.
So having a place here where people can come locally to remember is important. And it's open to the community, and we just really want people to come and experience it. It's a great place to remember and honor those who lost their lives. It's a great place to come and educate the next generation about what happened so that we don't forget.
Everyone was affected by 9/11 in different ways, but no matter your story, this is a place for everyone to pay tribute.
The plane was coming from Boston, and I am from Boston, and my family's from Boston. So it had a special significance because of that.
With photographer Madison Martin, this is Allie Marriott reporting for Titan Television.
Thanks, Allie.
Now we'll send it over to Dylan Johnson with the Titan Sports Update.
Good afternoon, Titans. I'm Dylan Johnson, and you've tuned in to another edition of the Titan Sports Update. Yesterday, girls volleyball took on Lee Summit North. You can check the final results on the Titan Sports Update Twitter page. They will compete again tomorrow in the Fieldhouse at 8 o'clock in the morning. Girls golf hit the greens yesterday. You can check the Titan Sports Update Twitter page for the final results. Titan softball recently competed against Lee Summit High School. The final score was 2-1, with West coming out on top. The Royals have struck past many expectations for this season and are projected to return to the World Series. Lauren Dismond and Autumn Black got the chance to sit down with someone who knows what it is like.
Retired Royals player and 1985 World Series vet Frank White understands how exciting the Royals' success really is.
I think that you look at it from a player's perspective and you say, okay, it's really neat to see guys who really strive to be champions. That's why we put the uniform on.
But with the excitement of the World Series comes stress.
Every game is pressure-packed. Probably you just want to, that's probably the most perfect you want to be as an athlete, because you know how much is at stake and what's on the line. Your biggest fear is making a mistake at the wrong time that costs your team a game. So your attention span is probably a lot sharper than at any other time that you play the game.
However, White fought past the stress and went on to not only impress his fans, but himself as well.
Being able to go from a kid who didn't play high school baseball, didn't play college baseball, played probably 30, 35 games in the summer, to being the best second baseman in baseball for a long time, to winning a World Series, to playing 18 years in the big leagues. I think that, to me, is pretty phenomenal. And then I started winning Gold Glove Awards, which is the best defensive player at your position, and then your team in the playoffs. And I think the World Series in 1985.
Frank White has empowered thousands of baseball fanatics across the nation, but one of his biggest fans is his granddaughter and senior at Lee Summit West, Reagan White.
I think his determination, because he's really hardworking, and like if he thinks of something he wants to do, he'll do it. Because with the Royals, he didn't actually intend to, he thought he would make the team, so I thought that was kind of cool. And for running for Jackson County Legislator, it's just he always has this mindset, and he'll always go out and achieve it.
Even though Frank White is retired, his work still inspires Reagan today.
Never give up on what you really want to achieve, your goal in life, because that's what he did, because it was kind of just a win-win situation with the Royals, and he never gave up, and he was able to achieve his dream of playing baseball and then doing everything else he wanted to later in life.
With photographer Lauren Dismond, I'm Autumn Black, reporting for Titan Television.
Now we'll transition from the mound to the field. Mark your calendar on the 16th because the boys soccer team will play Lee Summit North here at 6:30. This week, girls tennis battle with Blue Spring South. The results are on the Titan Sports Update Twitter page. So far, Titan football has started off strong with an overall record of 3-0. Last week, they defeated Winnetonka 35-7. This week's game is at Rockbridge. This Saturday, the boys and girls cross country team will run at Ray Peck. Boys swim also took second place last week in Springfield. That's a wrap for this edition of the Titan Sports Update. Until next time, I'm Dylan Johnson.
We would like to congratulate choir teacher Amy Krinke for being one of the 6 finalists for Missouri Teacher of the Year.
Mrs. Krinke teaches 342 students out of 2005 that are here at West.
With a lot of students comes a lot of ideas.
And a new idea has led to a new club at West.
Here's Katie Rasmussen with the inside scoop on Rebel.
Teens today often struggle with depression, anxiety, and pressure from other peers. West is trying to shut down those negative issues by bringing a new organization to school. You may have seen posters about Rebel, but what is it?
For kids to be able to accept themselves and to spread awareness for eating disorders and stuff like that, so that kids get a voice in who's struggling and whatnot.
Rebel will help kids see positive things within themselves. Some examples are:
we might participate in Mirrorless Mondays. So that would be covering the mirrors in the bathroom and encouraging people to, it's not all about how you look on the outside, and it's more about how you feel on the inside. Whiteboard Wednesdays, which I already mentioned, that's going to be encouraging students to, put out there on Twitter positive images, not negative, fake things. So holding up a sign that says, I love my smile, or I love my mind, or, I love my positive attitude.
If you are interested in joining Rebel, pick up an application from Miss Jeffries or the Counseling Center.
I hope that they learn that it's okay to be themselves and that they shouldn't be afraid of the public.
With photographer Kaylee Yule, I'm Katie Rasmussen, reporting for Titan Television.
Remember that next week is homecoming week.
The theme will be Protect the Barn, and Monday will be the start of Spirit Week.
Monday will be Pajama Day, Tuesday will be Twin Day, Wednesday will be Luau Day,
Thursday will be Superhero Day, and Friday will be Titan Spirit Day.
You can find each day on the Ellis West Online Twitter or Instagram.
The parade will be Thursday after school, and you won't want to miss the game against Lee Summit North on Friday.
The homecoming dance will be Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m.
Remember, if you're bringing someone not from West, you must pick up a visitor form in the front office.
Well, Titans, that's all we have for this episode of Titan Television. I'm Stacia Anderson.
And I'm Matt Ross. Have a great week, Titans, and we'll see you again on October 9th.